Welcome to Financial Minds Meet the Experts. I'm Jaime Agostino, your host. As you know, on this podcast, we're joined by financial industry experts to talk about topics, trends, and themes that credit union professionals need to know about. Today, I am joined by Phil Barnhill with the Greenville Federal Credit Union and Darrell Tyler with Richmond Heritage Federal Credit Union, and we're going to discuss Vizzo Financial's financial conference. But before we start that discussion, Phil, would you please tell the audience, what your role is at the credit union and how long you've been attending the financial conference?
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity to be on here. I'm just honored to be called an expert. This is awesome. So I'm the CFO at Greenville Federal Credit Union. I've been here 4 years, and this will be my third financial conference. My first year, I could not get it into my rotation just based on when I started. So I'm excited to kind of see it for a third time and always look forward to it.
All right. All right, Darrell, same question to you. Tell us about your role at the credit union and how long you've been attending the financial conference.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jaime, for the invite. Let's see. I have been with the credit union since January 2020, just came in right at the heart of COVID. This September will be my fourth conference. My very first conference was the last time we had it at the Ballantine in 2022.
Yeah. All right. And at the credit union, I please confirm you do serve as the board chair, correct, Darrell?
I failed to mention that. I do serve. Thank you. I do serve as the board chair. I've been on the board since coming to the credit union in 2020 and have enjoyed it ever since.
All right. And that's what I love about this conversation, because we're going to have two different perspectives. So, Phil's coming at it from, an executive level at the credit union. And then Darrell, you're kind of bringing in that board perspective, because it's a benefit to no matter what your position is or how you serve the credit union. And so that's what I'm looking forward to with this discussion. So, Darrell, what makes the Vizzo Financial Conference stand out from other conferences you attend?
All right. Well, the most important piece is that Vizzo is our corporate. So when I go to this conference, I'm in the same room with the people who share my credit union's best interest at heart. And that's the capstone right there. The people I'm talking to, the people I'm interacting with, they are there to help our credit union succeed. So everything they do is about helping our credit union succeed. So you're among friends.
All right. All right. Phil, same question to you. What makes the Vizzo Financial Conference stand out to you from other conferences you've attended?
Yeah, I think Darrell nailed it. I think just that relationship with our corporate is so crucial. And then a few other things come to mind as well of really the high quality of speakers. I feel like, and I've only been a few times so far, but it just continues to get better and better. And from my seat, just being a CFO and just having some of our staff there, our employees, they get to hear from the best and get to really very current, very relevant stuff that we get to learn about. So that's always great. But then also the networking, kind of like Darrell mentioned, just be it meals, receptions, between sessions, at the golf. I love the golf activity. But one thing that I think might go a little unnoticed sometimes is this conference is so relationship based with our corporate that I think it's fair for me to say this. So just slap me if I shouldn't, but there's no vendor hall there, and which I appreciate, right? Because a lot of these conferences we go to, we're pulled in so many different directions trying to go talk, but we can kind of focus on why we're there is to learn financial stuff, network, and it's all under our corporate. So those are the big things that stand out that make it a little different than others that I've attended.
Yeah, no, and that is by design. So we intentionally do not involve, add vendors to that. That is a philosophy we take with all of our main conferences, because you're there for the education. And so, Vizzo, intentionally make sure that we don't have vendors there. And as far as the speakers, I got to give a shout out then to Scott Wood. He did last year's speakers. He's also doing this year's speaker. And prior to that was our current CEO, Fred Eisel. So they do a great job getting some of those out, those experts from other industry areas and stuff like that. So kudos to them for that. And that's a big piece of it. That's one thing with the conferences. When we do workshops, it's kind of our internal experts. With our conferences, we try to bring in outside experts. So, Phil, what has been your favorite moment or experience at the conference and why?
Ooh, oh goodness, that's tough. I don't know if I have a favorite moment necessarily, but one thing I've noticed, and this was relayed to me before I was here as well. Every time we go to this conference, our team brings something back. And
Yes.
I feel like that's not always the case. So kind of going off the piggybacking off the previous question, it's not always the case at every conference, but we always learn something. We always bring something back to our teams that we can implement or have a good talking point discussion about. So I just know to have that kind of track record is so important. And obviously we're investing time and money for our people to go, but we're getting something out of that, and it's tangible. We get to bring back. So I would say just having that is a big, I guess, experience. I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
I'll file it under that, but I do always appreciate that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, obviously that's the goal. So the
Yeah.
fact that we're hitting that goal is wonderful. So Darrell, to you, same question, what has been one of your favorite moments or experiences at the conference and why?
Uh, there hasn't been just one. There've been a lot, but I have to echo Phil. And as far as like takeaways, I am because the conference has this mobile piece to it. When I'm sitting in one of the sessions and there is something that I know my credit union, its leadership or the directors can use, I am there and I'm forwarding information to them, and they are when I get back to a board meeting, they're like, well, we got all your text messages or your emails about everything that's going on. So they are flushed. They are flushed with information by the time I get back. And one of the many experiences is just simply Grove Park itself. It's an absolutely lovely venue. And the people of Asheville are fantastic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, it really is a lovely venue, and so glad that you're sharing all of that knowledge that you're getting out of the conference, with your other board members as well as your executive team at the credit union. So thank you for that. Um, so, Phil, you kind of mentioned earlier networking. So, did the conference help you build any meaningful connections or opportunities? And I'm kind of thinking networking there. So has the conference helped you in that regards?
Absolutely. I think with the financial focus, obviously, right? I get to mingle with a lot of CFOs, controllers, just different people in my world that, I sit at my desk and plug away, right? But hearing stories and how other credit unions are serving their members and impacting their communities, I get to bring that back. So a ton of those, but one in particular, I would say is it's a group, but it's with our Viso team. It's just so good to have that face-to-face kind of time. Just getting to hang out with you, Jaime. I'll shout out Robin Cooper, my account manager. She's awesome. But just getting that time with Fred, Scott, whoever. But we have to talk a lot on Zoom or on the phone. But getting that face to face kind of just intentional time is crucial. So really, over the years, building those relationships with our Viso team has been amazing.
All right, wonderful. Phil, or sorry, Darrell, same question. Did the conference help you build any meaningful connections or opportunities?
Absolutely, Jaime, and I think you of all people will know that most assuredly. I the people I've met, including Viso's staff and the other colleagues within the credit unions sector, is just above reproach. It's important to me as a practitioner of corporate governance. And as a conduit for my credit union, to one thing is just to make sure that my manager at the credit union has everything that she needs to have to do her job most correctly. So the connections that I've made are meaningful for sure at the conference. And yeah, it's a phenomenal opportunity for anyone to get there and meet with these other professionals and the staff advisor, and you will benefit from it for sure.
All right, wonderful. So, Darrell, you said this will be your fourth year, I think, coming back. So,
Mhm.
what keeps bringing you back year after year?
Okay. Ooh, this. Okay. This. I saw that question. This one's a little personal. My very first one was at Valentine, and I was just with everything going on. As 2022, we were at the downslope of COVID, so things are beginning to breathe. We survived COVID. By the time I got to the Valentine and work, because we're volunteer members of the credit union in our respects, just working everything. I was just so rested at the Valentine and just with the people that I really appreciated talking to and learning from. I made it a commitment to myself to make this an annual thing for me. So this conference holds two parts. One, everything we've talked about, the connections, the information, the data, meeting with our corporate, and two, just having an opportunity to breathe in that beautiful setting.
Yeah, wonderful. Phil, what about you? What keeps bringing you back year after year?
I think Darrell said it so well. We've kind of hit a lot of it, but I would kind of go to just the great education piece. I think, like I said, I can get bogged down in my own little station here, but when I get to kind of step out of that and a beautiful setting like the Grove Park and just hear from the experts is always crucial. But I haven't shouted out CPE credits yet. I think that is, first of all, thank you guys for offering those, because that is huge for a lot of us that need those to maintain licenses and all that. So thank you. I know it's a big deal. A lot of work goes into that, and we appreciate it. So CPE credits to go learn is fantastic. And the networking. I mean, it's just, those are the big things, education and networking. So it's almost like, why wouldn't I go back, honestly? So, it's great.
Well, thanks for mentioning those CPE credits. Yeah, I mean, we try not to make it too cumbersome, but unfortunately, NASBA does require us to ask you guys a lot of questions and complete surveys and a couple of polls. So we apologize, but we know they're important to you. So we want to make sure we follow the rules. So
thank you for that.
Phil, in the 3 years that you've been going, how has the financial conference evolved over that time?
Darrell's been mentioning Valentine. I've missed Valentine, so I have not seen. I've only seen it at the Grove Park, and I guess this is an inadvertent shot at Fred, because it sounds like Scott took over the agenda from Fred, but I feel like it just continues to get better. So take that, Fred. But I feel like the quality, it's just continuing every year. It's just gotten better and better. And every time at the end of sessions, we look at each other like, that was amazing, just very insightful stuff. So I would take that. And then just the Asheville, just the setting. Again, I was not in Charlotte at Valentine, but it had to be an upgrade, because you can't go much farther up than Asheville. So, I'd say those two items there.
Yeah, we loved our time at the Valentine, but you know what? The conference just kept getting bigger and bigger, which is what we want. So more and more people are attending, and we outgrew the space. And, Omni Grove Park is absolutely beautiful. So I'm glad they're able to accommodate us. Darrell, so in your eyes, how has the financial conference evolved over time?
Evolved over time. Let's see. I think the thing that I'm seeing approaching the conference more so than when I first attended the conference was just the number of sessions that have some AI interplay to them, or some large language model to them. And that's a benefit. It's nothing to be scared of. It's something to make sure that we're on the right side of. But definitely, and in attending these conferences, I remember the first time I've heard of Vertist AI, and brought it back to my team and said, "Hey, this might be something we might be interested in," and we're finally starting to dip our toes in that water. But I've noticed the inclusion more and more of the AI and the large language model play. And whether or not they directly impact us or indirectly impact us, it is something that we should still keep an eye on, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to piggyback off that real quick because that's a very good point, Darrell, that the agenda or the speakers or the topics, it's not stagnant. It's constantly current. It's what's applicable to us right now. So that's really, really great point. So I kind of did a broader, you nailed it though, of bringing in it's always getting better and making sure we have the most up to date trends and what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's obviously intentional. Scott does a great job. And there's always what we call the wild card session. It's not necessarily maybe financial, but yet it's something financial people need to know. So, I mean, we call it the wild card session. So we always throw one of those in there. So, Phil, if someone is on the fence about coming to this year's conference, what would you tell them?
Just do it. There's no reason not to. You just can't beat the opportunity to, again, everything we said, I'll repeat it again, but Asheville, networking, education, current trends. And I love too, obviously in the credit union world, our corporate's there to serve us and they're serving with us ultimately so we can serve our members. And that's the theme. That's kind of the overall tone of all of it. So just do it. The link's out there. Just register. That'd be my advice.
All right. So Darrell, coming from a board member, if there's a board member on the fence about coming to this year's conference, what would you tell them?
Phil took the words right out of my mouth, man. That's not right. That's not right. Because I was thinking exactly. Just do it. Don't, I forgot the expression. But you're overthinking it if you don't believe you can get something from this conference. I would tell any director to do it, come. But not only that, I did make an offer to my credit union because we are a very, very small credit union. So we have to be mindful of every penny we spend. And so I told our manager, I'm like, hey, look, this is a conference that we could definitely bring a staff member to. I said, you pick a staff member, I'll pay half their fee. Okay. The credit union can take up the other half, but I'll pay half because I believe that they will gain something from this conference. With small staff, we couldn't pull a staff member that time, but we'll see if we can pull a staff member this year. But it is like Phil said, just do it. Yeah. Don't overthink it. You will get so much from it. The thing that comes to mind right now are the Stiefel presentations, even though there's a bunch of them. I've always found a lot of those presentations, and sometimes you follow the presenters and you'll see them again and again, presenting some fantastic data out there. And I'm a data wonk. Presenting fantastic data and data that you have to share, data that you have to post and so forth. So yeah, just come, just do it.
All right. And, I didn't even say this, but I feel like I need to ask this. So, Phil, would you mind sharing what is your asset size of your credit union?
Oh, we are approaching, we're at 483 million. So we're approaching 500 million, hopefully soon-ish. We'll see.
All right. And I say that because, Darrell, what size is your credit union?
We are just under 20 mil. We're very, very small.
And that's why I wanted to, this conference is geared for everyone. So it doesn't matter your asset size. And we have billion-dollar credit unions present as well. So, I mean,
absolutely,
we're providing education that every credit union, no matter what, can benefit from. And sorry, when you said that, as far as, the financial contribution, I mean, obviously there is an expense to come to the conference, but I do want to also make people aware we do offer grants. There's the KB grant that people can apply for, where Viso Financial will cover the expense of the actual conference. You would still be responsible for the room and board. But I mean, that is available and you can, download an application and fill that out. I think you have until the end of July to subscribe, to potentially be entered into that. And then I know a lot of the leagues do grants as well for educational opportunities. So that's another way to get, the cost of the conference covered.
Or just ask Darrell. He might cover it.
That was, Jaime and everybody else know that there's a lot of out-of-pocket stuff directors have to do for very, very small credit unions. And it's because I take this role quite seriously. There's been some out-of-pocket expenses. but it is absolutely, absolutely worth it. We are now under a new league as well as I think it's the League of Southeastern Credit Unions and Affiliates.
Yep.
And they do have a lot of programs and grants available to members who attend conferences. And this is where I would, it's just my role as chairman to look after the staff and the other directors and present those types of things to them, or at least make it available to them. And if they can participate, fantastic. If they not, I'll definitely be sitting in the audience, sending PDF packets to everyone.
I think that's phenomenal, Darrell. That's really cool. Really well done.
All right. So, Darrell, any final thoughts you'd like to share with our listeners about the financial conference?
Okay. If you are sitting on the fence, again, just do it. Come on. I'd love to see you in North Carolina. The people and staff of Viso are just fantastic people to get to sit and talk and have fun with on the non-concurrent sessions, and even on some of those concurrent sessions. But the after hours are fantastic. The venue is fantastic. The staff of the Grove Park are just marvelous. The food, the restaurants, and everything is just fantastic. So yes, by all means, aside from any of that, it is a great conference, and one that I look forward to every year. When we were in Grove Park last year, as soon as the 2025 dates were announced, I was blocking them off my calendar.
All right. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear, Darrell. Phil, what about you? Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Hopefully I can see everybody there. I would love to, again, the networking piece. I'd love to meet anyone and everyone, honestly, just to say hey and just know some more people in credit union world. And we're all under Viso's umbrella. So we can all work together, collaborate, do some great things with that. And just one word of advice: if you happen to be doing the golf tournament, just watch out for Fred. You can take that however you want. Just watch out for Fred. That's it.
He will love that. And even outside the conference, there's obviously other things to do. We do have activities, like as Phil mentioned, there's the spa, there's golf. We're going to have a biking tour this year. But not part of the conference, there is the piano bar, which is every Thursday night. So that's always a good time too. So
don't I remember?
Yeah.
Don't I remember?
I think we were there last year singing some.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. I wish I knew how to play the piano well. But you're absolutely right about activities outside of there. I'm not a big golfer person, so I'm a numismatist by hobby, and for those of you who don't know, that's a coin collector. Oh. So there are a couple of coin shops, and for that break period, met some great friends, some new friends. I had to call them and find out and make sure that everybody was okay after Helena touched down in Asheville, just to make sure, and they were fine. They were fine, but and my heart goes out to the community of Asheville, and as they recover from that devastating hurricane. And I don't mean to add a somber note to this, but I did think about them because I fell in love with Asheville and the people of Asheville.
Yeah. Well, and we were there just weeks before, so
yes,
it was really, I think, hard for anyone that goes to the conference, just thinking back that we were just there. So, well, to your surprise, this episode of Financial Minds is brought to you by Viso Financial's 2025 Financial Conference. This year's conference will take place September 10th through the 12th. We are back at the iconic Omni Grove Park Inn in Asheville, North Carolina. So get ready to soar as we dive into today's most pressing financial topics: interest rate and loan performance strategies, economic and regulatory updates, investment and bond opportunities, and so much more, that are led by expert speakers from Bloomsburg, Wells Fargo, as well as other top-tier institutions. For an even more elevated experience, the conference will feature spa, golf, and the electric bike tour activities. There'll be networking opportunities, CPE credits, and of course, the stunning mountain setting. So registration is open, so please visit Viso Financial's website at www.vfccu.org. As always, thanks so much for listening and make it a great day.